There's a new woke outrage over Sydney Sweeney, and this time it has nothing to do with her genes. Rather, they're angry that she is an actress. No, really, truthfully, honestly, the wokies have lost their minds that Sydney Sweeney is pretending to be a ballerina. Now they're declaring that it's an outrage, it's an insult to all ballerinas all over the world. But really what they're mad about is something entirely different. And we know it, we'll show it right now. Hello folks and welcome back to the Pro Channel. We're so happy to have you gathered together with us to figure out what's going on in entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. That's what we do every single day. And folks, thank you for coming our way. Click the like button and tell us in the comment down below, what do you think about Sydney Sweeney? Is she suffering from the woke attacks or is she getting stronger? We'd love to hear from you. Let's dive in. We've got the secret reason the wokies are trying to destroy her and her career right now. All right, folks, take a look at this out of thatparkplace.com. If you're not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. Opinion. Sydney Sweeney ballet backlash shows just how unhinged activists have become. What's this about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the left, the wokies, they're angry, they're mad, no jokies, because the American Eagle gal is acting, and they don't like it. They don't want her to be an actress. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to say this now, actor. Let's go take a look at what they're mad about. The phrase Sydney Sweeney ballet should be trending right now because of a stylish new Jimmy Choo campaign, not because online activists have lost their minds again. Yet here we are. The actress slipped into a leotard and boots for an ad that playfully leaned into ballet imagery, and the outrage brigade has declared it offensive to actual dancers. So there's Sydney Sweeney. She's pretending to be a ballet dancer. Why? For an ad. They asked her to dress in a leotard for an ad. It says from Amanda Catherine Quinn. Sydney Sweeney pretending to be a ballerina in an ad is so disrespectful to all the girls who have spent their lives learning the craft. Just for some basic blonde girl to come in and pretend to be one of them. Shameful. You know, I wonder what Amanda thinks about when, Amanda. I wonder what Amanda thinks when somebody pretending to be a girl walks into, never, I can't say that. Oh, gosh. Dylan. According to critics, Sweeney pretending to be a ballerina is some sort of crime against the art form. That's right, a fashion ad, not a live performance at the Bolshoi, but a fashion ad. Somehow it's being treated as a disrespectful to an entire profession. All right, so here's the ad. I don't think we can play it. We'll just let you see the ad. You can watch on an X if you want to. We're not getting copyright hit today, but it's enough to say Sydney Sweeney asked to play a role in a commercial, and the left is furious about it. Here you go. Stephen Chung says, cancel culture run amok. This warped, moronic, and dense liberal thinking is a big reason why Americans voted the way they did in 2024. They're tired of this blop. MSNBC is running this article. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows an unbridled cultural shift towards whiteness. Again, back to the American Eagle thing. This time, not the ballet. Guys, what is it that they hate about Sydney Sweeney? What do you think it is that they can't stand about her, where other people apparently can be whatever they want to be, but Sydney Sweeney can't be skinny and attractive? What is it?
I think there's a just not to get too deep into gender politics here, but I think that there's a lot of women out there who really hate women who are more attractive than them. And I think they might think that Sydney Sweeney is more attractive than them. And they will come up with any excuse for why to hate someone that they view as more attractive than them.
Jonas, you're clearly wrong. WCCB out of Charlotte is asking, is Sydney Sweeney disrespecting ballerinas? Again, Culture, all right, Culture, what do you think about this? Is Sydney Sweeney purposefully, by putting on a leotard, is she appropriating the ballerinas of the world? Is she...
Well, I mean, no more than the actor that played Michael Myers is, is assuming a serial killer role. There's plenty of serial killers out there that could certainly play that part.
You need representation.
I'm pretty, exactly. And this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Right now, Sydney Sweeney's a big win. As of this morning, American Eagle had a massive shift in value. This morning, her influence over culture is pretty significant. She's in demand for things, whether it's to promote shoes, Jimmy Choos, or whether it's to promote jeans, or whether it's to, be a damsel in a dress in a horror film. It doesn't seem to matter.
Culture, hang on just a second. I don't want to lose what you said. It's really important.
Yeah.
American Eagle. Yeah. Let's not just slide by that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that the wokies are so furious at Sydney Sweeney is the campaign against her and the American Eagle use of her in their ads backfired spectacularly, and we're finding out that American Eagle's doing just fine.
Yeah, and I imagine Jimmy Choo's gonna sell more Jimmy shoes. I mean, it's gonna be she's a winner. This is the problem. She's is aesthetically pleasing, and things that she touches seem to do rather well. They tried to throw a failure on her because of an indie release that was in limited release at the time. Just try to throw some shade at her, or try to convince, corporate America that they shouldn't invest in that. But her ad is, as MS or PMSNBC describes there, or what is it, MS Now or MS Later or MS Sometime, as they said in that article, she's the massive cultural shift. She's the indicator that everything changed last November.
Let me read this article real quick.
Let
me read this article, and this is out of Giant Freaking Robot. It's being hosted on Yahoo Entertainment by Josh Tyler. Sydney Sweeney's sexy new ad causes more strange controversy. There's no controversy, by the way, except from the wokies. Here's what it says. It basically claims there's a lot of delight, but also anger. And the delight, it says, comes from men. Okay? But also women who like to look attractive. So what's the outrage? Some of the outrage seems to be coming from people who are still hung up on her jeans commercial and have convinced themselves Sydney Sweeney's for reasons. The rest of it seems to be coming from people who don't know what actors do. This is, folks, I want to tell you, this is actually a good thing that Giant Freaking Robot appears to understand that Sydney Sweeney is not a ballerina, in fact. She is not pretending to be a ballerina in boots. Well, she is, but she's not pretending to be a real one. She's pretending to be, a character for advertising. Now, Natalie Portman is also not a ballerina, even though she played one in Black Swan. I don't think so, right? She's also not, I guess, a queen in outer space. Ron, your thoughts on this? And I'm going to bring in Marvin in just a minute. Marvin over at thatparkplace.com, editor-in-chief. He's the one who's been covering this, and I'm just fascinated about the faux outrage that the woke are trying to do. Ron, your thoughts on it?
I was just wondering how much outrage there was when Scarlett Johansson, about 15 years ago or so, played a ballerina in The Black Widow, and also an assassin in The Black Widow, and also is a woman who doesn't have that different of looks than Sydney Sweeney. She's blonde hair, blue-eyed. She has somewhat of an all-American look. Sydney Sweeney is the epitome of what we used to call the all-American look for a young lady. And I think that's what they have a problem with. It's kind of weird to me because these same people seem to not have a problem with, say, people pretending to be maybe a gender that they're not, or something like that.
Did you say
okay with that?
Did you seriously say that on this channel, Ron?
I'm just saying some types of pretense seem to be okay with.
Did you drop the W word on here, Ron?
What's the W word? Woman?
Yeah. Weird.
Look, Ron makes a good point, because the girl next door, you still want the girl next door. Americans, especially males, sorry, we're red-blooded American folks, and we still want the girl next door. We want the dependable person, the aesthetically pleasing person, the feminine person. I know that's going to get a lot of people really angry. But if you go to what we consider cultural norms, because they're normal. This falls in line with that. Her appeal is broad. Her mannerisms carry the day, and she has abilities and attributes that not a lot of people have. So
you're going to make the Splats crowd very angry with what you're saying. You're going to make the folks with 17 different piercings in their face unhappy yet again with us.
I have a feeling that those people are going to, unfortunately, encounter a negative MRI event, and I feel bad for them.
Somebody who never cries and is not afeared of an MRI is Marvin Montanaro the editor-in-chief of That Park Place. And Marvin, you're the author of this article that we're covering here about Sydney Sweeney and the unhinged outrage aimed at her. Walk us through, what are people saying online? How big is the backlash? And why are they mad that she's wearing a leotard? What is it that's driving them insane?
They're saying they're angry because they're saying it's disrespectful to women who have learned to be ballerinas that she's pretending to be a ballerina. They had no problem with Natalie Portman in Black Swan, who, by the way, Natalie Portman had taken some ballet classes as a child and was never a professional ballerina. You know, Danny Glover, prior to Angels in the Outfield, had no managerial Major League Baseball experience either. So I think we point that out in the article. But they are just angry at this woman for existing. The Sydney Sweeney has great genes advertisement is
that's what they're mad about, Marvin. That's what they're mad about. American Eagle actually got a boost from it. They tried to nail them, and it backfired spectacularly.
Well, they're mad because, you know, everything from the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue to every kind of ad that you see out there right now has started to swing away from women who look like Sydney Sweeney into women who look more, well, you know what, I'm not going to say what they look like, but you could guess.
A more idealized image seems to be the safe way to say it.
Yes. So bringing back Sydney Sweeney and the success that this was obviously going to get, plus the amount of attention. I mean, look, this is every angry woman whose husband, like they saw their husband looking at that ad and was just like, man, she looks great. Like they're all angry at her for existing. Then they went and they dug up her voter registration that said that she was a registered. Oh yeah, you didn't hear about this?
I had not heard about this. They actually got her voter registration.
We covered this weeks ago. They dug up
because
her voter
she wore jeans.
Yep, they dug up her voter registration that said in the state of Washington she was a registered Republican, and they were like, aha! And they held that up as a cancelable offense, and everybody was like, what?
Wow.
And Trump himself has sounded off on this. Trump himself has been like, don't let him get you down, girl. Because I guess Barron is a big fan, and Barron brought
I can't imagine why Barron would be a big fan. I don't understand it.
Go figure.
What is it that Barron enjoys about Sydney Sweeney? I
can't put my finger on it.
I don't know.
Especially without being accused of assault. Looking at this, I mean, it's funny how someone being attractive can turn into a culture war issue. And I think that speaks to an underlying issue with this entire Harrison Bergeron-like thing that they're going for with the elites here. They want full equality, and they're willing to hurt people to get it. They're willing to harm someone's social standing to get it. They don't like the idea that someone has any advantage, perceived or otherwise, or at least that's the principle they're talking about it. So in the end, I think there's just a ridiculous bias that it's not necessarily Sydney Sweeney, but she happens to be the right shade for them to hate Sydney Sweeney here. I think that there's just an underlying problem with everything that they're doing with this large campaign against traditional beauty, however they view it.
I have not seen this, okay, and we like to do our research here and know what it is we're going to put on the screen, but this is intriguing to me. I didn't realize this was a video. I just want to hear, surely these women on the left that are going to talk about this, surely they're not going to fall for this. I mean, okay, well, because it could be them next. Here we go.
Live from WCCB.
Another,
right now.
It has started. We are joining in progress, if you're tuning in right now. Another day, another Sydney Sweeney commercial controversy. This time it's her new Jimmy Choo ad, but it's complicated. This is what's making the rounds on social media. Here she is, dressed sort of like a ballerina. There we go.
No, she's dressed like a ballerina. She's not sort of. She's definitely, totally dressed like a ballerina minus the shoes.
Wearing knee-high boots, of course. I mean, that's what all ballerinas wear. There's a tweet attached to it that says, Sydney pretending to be a ballerina is so disrespectful to the girls who have spent their lives learning the craft. But the tweet is supposedly not real. But the controversy is. This poor girl can't catch a break.
I think she loves not catching a break. Okay, so and I've now educated myself on all things Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Back in 2022, she did a different ad where she was also dressed like a ballerina.
Like on point shoot.
On point shoes, yeah. And she did catch legitimate flack for disrespecting ballerinas.
For being an actor,
right?
Acting
That's what actresses
in an
do.
ad.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. They agree with us. They actually have common sense in their noggins. I have stumbled into rationality. What a joy. What a joy. Okay, so guys, here's what I'm thinking watching this then. If that's how they're covering it on the local news, maybe the side of truth is not losing. Maybe people are remembering that actresses get to act and pretend. Give us your final thoughts, guys, on this one, and we'll keep following the outrage. But what are your thoughts on the woke still trying to cancel poor Sydney?
I think Sydney Sweeney shines so bright, they just feel the necessity to throw shade.
Well said. Well said. All right, Marvin, as the author, if you want the final word, I'll give it to you. It's hard to follow after what Ron just did, but it's up to you, buddy.
No one is. Sydney Sweeney has been a proven draw. I was some of the images that we have in that Park Place article are from the American Eagle store in Times Square, New York, in the center of Manhattan. And I took those personally when I was in the city recently. So we were walking by in Times Square. I saw the American Eagle store and I said, I want to see something. And I walked in and these ads were everywhere. And you know what else was everywhere, Pro? People buying jeans.
Huh.
Because it worked, because it brought people in the door. It is once again proof that the manufactured outrage of progressive activists does not move the needle. But meanwhile, when Bud Light does something stupid or Cracker Barrel does something stupid and regular people revolt against that, then you see the massive downturn. So it begs the question now, are companies going to learn that catering to progressive activists doesn't get you very far? And that, I think, is going to be the great case study here.
I think they're going to learn that lesson very quickly, and we'll see the results of the study very soon. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.